Okay, 90.7 KFSR Radio. This is Dr. T. Hassan Johnson in Africana Studies. This is the Hip Hop Culture course, spring semester 2013. And I have Mr. Gary Willis in the room recording, also known as
G-Dub.
G-Dub.
That's
all right.
G-E-Dub. And that's one of my military buddies, one of the Marines, called me G-W.
Okay.
Gary Willis. And then it got shortened to G-Dub. So I decided to make that my a hip-hop name.
Okay. Okay. So what do you got for us today?
Okay, I decided to do Run DMC. And the single I'm going to do is called Party Time, 1983, and it's off an album called Back from Hell.
Mm-hmm.
And just quickly, Party Time, when I try to analyze the genre, the lyrical style, type of MCing and rhyme structure, okay, the approach is basic and simple.
Okay.
The personality of it is storytelling. The method is single subject, and the intricacies of the verse are one-liners. Now, he does have a couple of where he doesn't rhyme, but most of it is, for instance, he'll say like time and rhyme, out and doubt, play and day, uphill and well, destination and nation. Every sentence basically rhymes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I analyzed the social political context of the time the song was made. And basically what I've got here is that at the time Run DMC were getting ready to get to the top of their game, the United States was recovering from one of the worst recessions that ended in 1982. Okay. Because of that recession, Ronald Reagan was like just swept into office. And his vice president at that time was George W. Bush.
Right.
The unemployment rate at that time was 11% for the United States and approaching 21% for black Americans. So the recession was pretty deep. Reaganomics was able to get the Reagan 1981 program for economic recovery, which definitely disadvantaged black Americans. That's pretty much about all I've got on that. Oh, the only other thing that was happening then was the war on drugs. Even though Nixon had sort of introduced it, Reagan took it to that next level.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And analyzes the group that made the song, where they are from, and what influenced their music. Well, at Run DMC, they're from Hollis, Queens, New York.
Right.
Run DMC was formed by Joseph Simmons, who's Run, Daryl McDaniels, who is DMC, and Jason Mizell, Jam Master J, in 1982. One of the distinctive things that they did, they wore street clothes on stage, and they were considered first-generation MCs, and that generation was from 1975 to 1983, and some of their contemporaries then was Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, and Curtis Blow. Okay. Two of their main competitors was Furious 5, the Sugar Hill Gang, who introduced rap to the mainstream. Run DMC's first single in 1983 was Sucker MC. Gave them a jump on the competition and started a new street music revolution. On this album, the music was pared down to just two voices, with occasional record scratching from Jam Master J, and he laid on a thick, heavy drum machine beat. So they sort of basically what I got from that is they started a new sound. Okay. This album blazed the trail for many rappers to come. This is some of their accomplishments while they're at the top of their game. They were the first African American double platinum selling hip hop album with Raising Hell in 1986. The single was a crossover success on the pop charts and and combined with their and this was combined with their triumphant role in raising of the Hell Tour from 1986 to 1987. They were featured, another one of their accomplishments, they were featured in 1986 as the first African-American rap act to make the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
Okay.
Okay. Their soundtrack was featured in Raising Hell producers Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin's Tougher Than Leather.
Right.
In late 1985, Run DMC was featured in the hip-hop film Crush Groove.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Well, then they went into decline. I want to talk a little bit about that. In late 1989, Run DMC was beginning to sound old when compared to the flows of Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Cool G Rap, and the Native Tongue Crew and Public Enemy.
Right.
Tom Lowe, Wild Thing, matched Raising Hell by double platinum sales in just a few months.
Okay.
So they lost that distinction.
Okay. Okay.
Even streetwise, the authenticity they had pioneered was being redefined by Ice-T and NWA, meaning we the real people.
Right,
So,
right.
So Ice-T comes along, NWA comes along, they said, no, they old. We're the real people, so it was redefined. And their present status. Jim Master J signed and produced Onyx and was working in ARC for Profile Records. Jam Master J was killed in a shooting,
Right.
October the 30th, 2002.
Yeah.
Run, true to his socially conscious lyric and tone, became a minister and started a Christian church and hip-hop label, Rev Run Records. Run DMC last recorded together on a Christmas single for a very special Christmas. Okay? And they were finally reunited for a TV commercial, The Kings from Queens.
Okay.
And according to this author, they have earned their royalties.
Okay.
And last but not least, the record company that released that produced that album and Party Time was Mercury Polygram Records.
Okay. Okay.
And that's all I have, Doctor.
Well, tell me this. Listening to this, what's your reflection on Run DMC? When you're listening to it, when you're thinking about it, how do you look at it?
Them or what they were doing?
Both. I mean,
Okay.
anything that comes to mind.
Well, what I think what comes to mind to me is how they depended on their talent.
Okay.
They didn't have no naked women behind them. They didn't use any unnecessary four-letter words. They didn't throw nigga out there like it was something that everybody's supposed to bow down to. They didn't say it over and over again. Their lyrics, and the way they rhymed and the flow they had just made you want to dance.
Okay. All right.
So, I didn't listen to that much rap, but Run DMC, Kool Mo D, LL Cool J, I did listen to them.
Okay. All right.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did. All right. Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Gary Willis, a.k.a. G-Dub, for coming in and breaking that down for us. And that's it. So we'll see you guys next year. This is Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Africana Studies, Hip-Hop Culture Course, AFRS 55T. And we're signing off. Thank you.
All right. And just before